All right. Heather here, Dee here. Sorry about the lighting. It's super dark. It's nighttime. Well, not really nighttime. It's 6:30 in the evening, and yeah, it's just really dark out. We are on our way to our friends Nkechi and Easton Robinson. Easton has come up with his own jerk seasoning, so we're going to is it a jerk up or a jerk off? No, it's not. It's totally not a jerk off. It's a jerk off. We're going to his jerk up. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's what we're heading to. We have not been to their new home yet, so this will be a nice surprise as well to see their new home. I'm looking forward to that. Did she just say left turn? I don't know what left turn. Okay, left turn. Yeah. So we should be there shortly, and I'm really looking forward to his sampling. Like, I'm not sure how many people are going to be there. They did say that they invited a couple of people, more than a couple, and hopefully they got a good turnout and people come out to support him, because Easton is a good cook. So I'm sure if he's developed his own jerk seasoning, that it tastes wonderful. So yeah, it's getting darker and darker as we start turning down these streets, but we should be there in moments from now, a couple of moments from now. Let me see. Hopefully, I'm hoping that, you know what, let's start this again when we get to the door, because it's really dark. Okay, bye. All right, everyone, we are here. We're at Easton and Nkechi's house. Here we have the man of the hour, Easton, and here we are with jerk up seasoning. I can't wait to taste this. This is going to be online, available for you to purchase. We're also going to make sure we get it right to you. One of our homies, J&W Foods, he'll be carrying the jerk up as well. So stay tuned for big things from my man here, Easton.
It's coming to you.
All right, I'm actually going to make sure I videotape myself eating it, so you can see me taking in the flavors and the juices, because Easton can throw down in the kitchen. So I have to make sure I get that on tape for all of you. All right.
Make sure you get your bottle.
Yes, we'll be back in a bit. Okay, so right now it's very loud. They even hired a DJ for his debut of his jerk up seasoning, and there is quite a bit of people here, and I'm so happy for them. I cannot believe what a great turnout they have. Everything sounds amazing. Actually, here is the woman behind Easton. Here we have Nkechi. We are in their beautiful home. The jerk up, the packaging looks amazing. I can't wait till it's available online for you and available at JW Foods. I already know it's gonna be amazing. Like, my mouth is watering for this jerk. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. I'm so excited. This house is gorgeous, you guys. Like, we're gonna videotape us eating. We have to. We're gonna videotape us eating. It's coming up. And Dee's actually getting ready to do a show again, but he's having a cheat day today. We are allowed a cheat day. Not a day, a cheat meal. Yes, a cheat meal, because we can't resist. We wanted to wait for Bobby to come back. He went to get some red stripe, which is something apparently goes with jerk chicken for Jamaican people. So just a couple of things. Where's my hand? We want to just say thank you very much. We welcome you to our home. This is actually the first time we've entertained in our new home. We moved here in August. And it was a very proud moment, because there's a big story behind this house, but I just want to really acknowledge Wincy. He's been our realtor for all of our homes, and he made this possible. So, yay! And then,
hold on a second. Where's Adolf? Let me get him upset.
The chef.
I remember. Come on, Ryan. And do it up my roll.
You want to text me?
I'm calling.
You're in our house. Here he is. Is that Bobby? Yes. We just called your name, big man. Yeah. Okay. The jerk dance? Nothing, I was just doing the jerk dance. There it is. She just made it up right now. So
this idea about jerkup, I'm going to just explain it and then I'll pass it over to the man who really is the vision behind it. But I tell the story, I think, a little bit more truthfully. So, so for some time now, Easton has been making his own seasoning, and he does it. He labors, he cuts up the, all of the vegetables or whatever he puts in it. I see him blend it up. He messes up my kitchen, and he kind of cleans it up, but I clean it up obviously afterwards again. And I've seen him doing this over and over, and the seasoning is actually really good. And then more recently than not, he decided that he wanted to actually live his dream of potentially opening up a restaurant. And so he went to thought as to what kind of restaurant would he want to do. And then he's come up with an idea that it wanted to be around jerk, and only jerk. And he doesn't really see that very often. And so what had happened was, again, he was making up his jerk seasoning. So he does his drive down to, where is it downtown? It's
we're going on Spadina.
Spadina. Comes back with boxes and boxes of actual real vegetables and whatnot that has come from Jamaica, either on WestJet or on Air Canada, and it's authentic. How do you say authentic?
There you go.
He will probably say the word authentic sometime this evening. It is authentic when you hear it. And so yes, he does all this. And then a very good friend of ours, Julie, had actually taken him to a couple of restaurants, other ideas just to, start to get him into, other owners and talking to them. And so he realized what it was that he wanted to do. We've picked a central area, and Wincy, by the way, we will be asking you for some assistance. And then what happened was he said, Hank, what would be really cool is if people came to the restaurant and, they're jerking up and jerking, and then I can also sell the product. And so the product was actually born from that, because here I am working at home and Easton's busy by the way, he knows how to Google, but he just doesn't Google romantic ideas for his wife. Where can he find bottles to bottle up? I just have to put that in there. So now you guys know you're on blast. And so he came up with the idea of actually just bottling it. So it started with bottles. They came, he went to pick them up, came, and then he put them in there, and it was just a bottle without any labeling on it and just the lid. And then after that, he said, what would be really awesome is if we had a label. So, Google, knows how to Google label makers. And he found this guy in Scarborough and designed this beautiful label. And I tell you, sometimes when God has touched something, when the very first proof back is it. No change was needed, right? So it was touched. This is a label that's been touched. And it was just very, very awesome. The very first try that this guy had, he landed it and we loved it. The name Jerkup started as jerk off. I'm just going to So myself, Easton, and Julie sitting at the table. She says, Easton, how about jerk off, man? And then people can come and then you can say, oh, where are the cooks? Oh, they're in the back jerking off the chicken. So Easton was actually mulling over that name. Me, on the other hand, it was an actual rap. It was a no. So we left it that day. Easton went to the gym. I'm still here with Julie. She calls up her friend, and we're telling him, yeah, Easton doesn't like the name jerk off. He's like, yo, how about jerk up? I was like, jerk up? I was like, Easton. Call him up, he picks up the phone, I was like, Easton, we got a name for you. He's like, what is it? Jerk up. That's the name, girl! That's it! Done! He's shouting, done! It's done! That's it! It's a dream! And the vision of Jerk Up was born. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually the first time we're revealing this bottle to you. And no one else has actually seen it other than everyone that's here in this house. So we've opened up our house and our home. We love you guys for coming here and supporting us. It means actually a lot to us that we're looking at a room full of amazing people that we've met either at the gym, our extended family and friends. And it's really awesome. It's a very overwhelming experience. So I'm going to hand it over to the maker of Jerk Up, ladies and gentlemen, Easton Nkechi.
Well, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate everybody for being here and take time out of their busy schedule on a Saturday. I know it's hectic on a Saturday. But where do I start with this stuff? Well, for me, I like to be healthy first and foremost, right? And I always thought about, cooking. And I like cooking. I love cooking, actually. I'm always in the kitchen doing something and food, right? So there was one time we would make a trip to Jamaica. I think it was Nkechi was there. And I went to the market in Jamaica and I saw all these stuff, fresh vegetables and stuff that I can make seasoning with. And I said to myself, what would happen if I take this stuff back and bring it in my kitchen and create something? So my suitcase was rammed. I was keeping my finger crossed and custom grabbing stuff away from me. Then my dream would just collapse. Right? So anyways, I think I divided up into 2 suitcases, so she would have some, I would have some. So if they stopped me, one of us,
Dream will still be alive.
one of us could get through with the stuff, right? So both of us got through, right? So I came up and I quickly, after a day or two, I had it in my fridge, I take it out and I start preparing stuff. And I start, as Nkechi says, start doing all that stuff. And then I just put it on the meat. And then we cooked. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow. It tastes fresh. You can taste the flavor of the meat. You didn't have to drown it in all this artificial stuff. Because a lot of times we cook, we have to drown the meat in so much garbage to taste the meat, right? So I couldn't stop eating this stuff. I didn't even want to give it away. I gave my brother a bottle and I was like, right? But I tell you what, it was great. And then, life got busy. You have your job. I can't stay home and make this stuff, right? So I resort back to the bad stuff for a while. And then, I kept going down to Spadina. And this guy that has this store that supplies this stuff that comes straight up from Jamaica, him and I always talk. And I'm like, hey, I want to do this, I want to make this sauce, right? And he's like, yeah, I'll give you for a good price. For about a year, I've been going back and forth with this guy. And he's like, I'm here when you're ready. Every time I go and buy a small amount of stuff just for myself, he's like, I'm here. So one day I went down there, I'm like, I'm ready. He's like, you're ready? I buy all these boxes of stuff. I said, Ink, I'm gonna do this. So I started coming up with the idea and started making all this stuff. Then I ran into a roadblock. I'm like, okay, I have all this stuff. Where am I gonna put it in? Right? So it's so funny because I tell you, what is for you is for you, right? I had all this stuff made. I had nowhere to put it. And I remember that Nkechi aunt, she had moved from her house in Richmond Hill and she had stored some stuff in her basement. Don't know what it is. Don't know what. But we move with some of the stuff. Right?
2 people, 2 days of moving, FYI.
Right? We move with some stuff. And I'm like, I think I heard some bottles in one. Right? So I went upstairs, I opened this box and there's these jars that she kept. Like a box of it, right? So I said, you know what? I can store my sauce in these jars. There's a whole box, right? So I said, there you go, there's a solution. And then I said to Ink, you know what? God is good. These bottles are here for me. They've been sitting in my house. Yes. So anyways, I did that and I started using those bottles as my own personal use. Because I never actually think that, okay, you know what, I want to turn this into anything. I just want to make sure I eat healthy. And then it dawned on me right there, that moment. It says, I want to supply a jerk season that people can eat and taste the food. But I didn't just stop there. My biggest part of this thing was, I want to get a restaurant. I want to get something. And I said to Ink, every time I go to a Caribbean place to buy food, doesn't matter which one I go to, I always have the same end result. We don't have this. This is not on the menu. I don't have this. You gotta wait for 2 hours. You gotta stand up and wait. I said, Ink, what if I create a restaurant where you're in and you're out? Keep my menu very simple. Jerk chicken, jerk pork. That's it.
Jerk fish.
No fish. Very simple. Very simple. So my customer can be in and out. and it's low maintenance. I don't have to spend hours and hours and hours preparing all different dishes. And the best part about it, I create their own sauce. So the taste is all the time the same way.
Yes.
It's not today I go there and let's see what happened today. Or tomorrow, let's see what happened. It's going to be consistent because I produce the stuff. So tie the two together, I think it'd be a successful operation, right? So I came home and I said, okay, let's bring the sauce first. And then I start bottling the stuff. I go, she says, go online looking for all these things. And I didn't even know that every item on a bottle is sold separately. I thought the lid and the bottle is the same. So you learn as you go, right? You learn to buy the bottle. And I said, the guy said, okay.
Oh, they don't come with lids?
No. The guy says, because I Google this stuff. I don't know where to get this stuff, so I'd go bottle makers, right? Something popped up, it's in Mississauga. Ink says, can't you find a little closer? I said, no, this is it. Mississauga, I'm going. I called the guy says, okay, we're in Mississauga again, put in my GPS, and I drove all the way to Mississauga. When I got there, the guy says, how much bottle do you want? I said, 50. He says, no. He said, we're a manufacturing company. We don't want to sell 50 bottles. They said the minimum is 250. So I'm starting thinking in my head now, ching, ching, ching. What am I going to do with 250 bottles? So I'm there. I said to the guy, hey, listen, I'll take them. He says, well, you need lids. I'm like, they don't come with lids.
We only sell those. Minimum 250 as well.
So he said, no. I said, you gotta buy the lid. He says, yeah. I said, what's the good of the bottle without the lid? He said, well, that's not my problem. So anyways, long and short, I purchased the bottle and I purchased the lid. And then he said, what kind of car or pickup do you have? I said, I have a small Golf there. He said, it's 40-something bucks, right? So I'm like, okay, improvise, because I can't go back to Richmond without them, right? Yeah. So I remember that the Volkswagen has an hatchback. You can drop the seat and it turns a bed. So he said, pull up at the dock and we'll see. So I dropped it down and I ran these boxes in there. And me and my boxes up back to Richmond. Hey, Ink, I'm home. Here's the box. So I'm getting nervous, all this, because I'm buying all these bottles. Don't know which direction I'm going, right? So I create the stuff, and now we need label. Ink was working. I'm like, I don't want to bother her. I'm like, Ink, label. What do we do for label? Like, what am I gonna put on it, right? I have the name jerkup. So I sat in the office there with a piece of paper.
First he found a printer. And he said, Ink, how about this printer? I said, oh, how much is it, Easton? Well, I don't know, I can't see the price. I'm like, okay, let me check. $5,000?
That was off the table.
That's off the table, dude.
So what I did was I sat in that room and take a piece of paper and pen, and I wrote down what I wanted to say on the label, right? So I write it down, and Ink was so busy, I went over there the paper and she briefly looked at it and said, yeah. I went back in there and I write more stuff and I called the guy and I head up to Markham with the piece of paper. So we sat down and he said, so what do you want to do? I brought a bottle too. So I said, I want a label, I want this on the bottle. He said, you want that on the bottle? I said, yeah. So he said, okay, let's sit down. Look, that was pretty good. He came up. And we decided, I said, listen, I want it to be something different, but not in a traditional way. Just something that really looks good. So I wrote down and he says all this stuff and that's the creation of the label. So the label, and then we have to find a place for seal, bottle seal. So you have to seal the bottle. Right? Right? So you have to now we have to yeah, you have to seal the bottle, right? So I'm like, hey, where do we find seal? No, these things are new. Yeah, you're venturing into something that you don't even know nothing about, right? So I'm like, online Google again. Google it handy, guys, I'm telling you. So we did find the seal, but we picked it up by a seal gun, and we were in the kitchen here fooling around, sealing, it didn't work. So if you,
But
buy
she's
a,
not a
if, you,
sealer.
if you buy a bottle and the seal is not completely circular on the top, it's because we're not a machine here. Right? So what I'm really trying to get at here is that the main focus is to eat healthy. And I try to provide something that is really healthy for you to eat. And if you're a person that like a lot of salt, it doesn't deter you from buying it. You can always take it home and put more salt. Which is not good for you, but that's the option. You have an option, right? But what I'm introducing is something that you can take it and you can clean your meat, whichever way you clean it, and you can take this rub and you can rub up your meat with it and let it marinate and just sit. And then you put it in the pot or the barbecue and you're good to go.
And you can add it to your food after it's cooked.
There you go. You can add it to your food after it's cooked too, right? So you're good to go. And you know, you're in the cupboard, you open all kind of drawers looking for this powder, looking for that powder. Well, all in one. We're going to be tasting the meat. We have, you know, a good display of pork and chicken that we jerk, that Adolf, my brother, that really do it up on the grill there. So, I mean, like I said, enjoy it, eat, and hopefully when you're leaving, you might take it and go try it on your own. Right? So,
Absolutely.
Digging guys, I appreciate you guys for coming out.
And just as an FYI, on November 22nd, he'll have his first catering gig.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, so it's about to go down. Here he is sampling the jerk chicken with our famous jerkup seasoning from Easton. So, how is it, D? How is it? How's the seasoning? It's jerk.
It's real jerk. Tastes good.
He said this is
Tastes
real
great,
jerk.
actually.
Okay, so everybody knows that I am a huge food snob. So here goes. I'm using my fingers. I'm picking it up. Let's try this. Wow, this is real jerk. So all you healthy people out there who are concerned about too much salt or whatnot, this is perfect. And if you do want more salt, even though salt's not good for you, you can always add some more salt. But this, you can really taste the chicken. It tastes really good. I'm so proud of Easton. I can't wait to see what the future holds for him. Big up Easton and jerk seasoning. Alright. Alright, so we've decided that we are leaving with 2 bottles of jerkup. We're taking 2 home. Alright? Not 1, but 2. There's Easton, there's the happy woman. Happy woman, we're taking our 2 bottles. It's really good. It's really, really good. I can't wait for everybody else to be able to try this. You're just gonna love it. You're gonna love it.